Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. It is now time for round 17. It is the Chang International Circuit of Thailand. This is the Thai GP, and we are starting from pole position with a time of 1:28.243, just 17 thousandths of a second quicker than the world champion Pecco Bagnaia. Let battle commence. So here we are then, starting from the best possible spot. Hopefully we get a start similar to what we had in Phillip Island, but if we don't, we'll certainly do our best nonetheless. So it's actually not a bad start for Pecco Bagnaia, who's wearing the wetsuit. In fact, a lot of the Ducati riders are wearing the wetsuit, so I was make contact with Bastianini. I think we actually did temporarily touch the rear tyre of the beast. I think he was a bit unhappy about that, as he just gives me a big bump up the wazoo as we charge down into the second corner of the Thai GP. So this is the sprint, of course, ladies and gentlemen. We are up against the 120% difficulty AI, the maximum difficulty for MotoGP 23, and so far we have a very underpowered Tech 3 gas, but we've still got what it takes, and we can still outbrake the beast going into turn 4. Couple of things to notice from the practices and qualifying I did. The AI seem to be strong in certain parts of this track, and then are absolutely woeful in certain other aspects of this circuit. So I am feeling tremendously confident that we can acquire and achieve the objective of finishing 5th place in the World Championship. Note ahead of us, Pecco Bagnaia has gone deep, very similar to what they were doing in the Moto2 class. Although, if you did watch that video in Moto2, we had to reduce down to the fuel to about fuel power 1 or power 2, and unfortunately from there it was a very, very difficult race to keep Tony Arbolino at bay, but that is a different story as we are now in the Premier class here in MotoGP. So the plan is attack Pecco the second we can. Fabio Quartararo, who bested us in the last time out against him in Phillip Island. Of course, you may have seen that video from a couple of days ago. Alternatively, if you haven't, apologies for spoiling that particular battle between myself and the Frenchman from that video a few days ago. So, as it stands, we are now on lap 2 of the 7 laps of today's sprint. Pecco has a second advantage, but we're quick in the middle towards the latter stage of each lap. So I don't see too much issue with him being 1.2 ahead of us, and I don't see any issue or qualms with having the 2021 World Championship winner behind us in the form of Fabio Quartararo, although we've gone really deep there for turn 4, and we'll probably acquire a track limit warning. Okay, got away with that one, not too bad. I guess we didn't really gain any time, we actually lost time rather than making any advantage for going deep into that corner. But now onto the right hand side for turn 7. You've got to be so careful for touching the apex there. Not only do you lose time, you can also very easily lose the front. And turn 8 as well, touch that apex there and it's good night Vienna. So just be careful if you're trying to replicate my performance here today in your MotoGP 23. So as it stands, turn 10, as we tackle just touching the apex there, that will lose us a bit of time. However, underneath the Petronas sign we go, and we look for this white line here to the left-hand side there to break just before it, to bring us in prime position to have an attack at Pecco. He goes deep there onto the apex, so out of the corner, and he is the fastest man on the circuit. I thought I'd be keeping up with him by now, but he's actually pulling away ever so slightly. Beautifully tackled the first apex here into turn 1. Fabio's 2 seconds behind as Bastianini's fallen by the wayside. He's now gone down to 6th place. And as we still exchange lap times with the double MotoGP World Champion. Now, of course, you don't need me to educate you in any way, shape or form, but you will know that the GP23 of the Ducati in front of us is by far the fastest bike in this game, and it is absolutely killing it in a lot of these Grand Prix this season. But I'm still very hopeful that we can catch up to the number 1. We've had a couple of scraps, us and the Ducati, red on red, fighting amongst the fights. We have beaten Pecco before, and I think we can do it here today. Already 0.4 of a second up into this couple of corners. Now into sector 3. We'll get into sector 3 as we cross turn 8. Let's see what happens. Onto the right hand side, go into the power. 0.5 of a second. Yeah, we are closing in. Look at Bagnaia, the gap is dwindling. I don't know why he's wearing that wet jacket, but he's still... yeah, it's probably holding him back a little bit. Maybe they're expecting rain. I don't know. It does look a bit scary, actually, if you do look at the sky. That's really late on the brakes there. Oh my goodness, I couldn't get it stopped. I'm going to have to make a decision. So I've made the decision, and Pecco will have the advantage. But we are the fastest man on the circuit with a 1:28.367. And yes, Pecco, that is me. You can have a good old look behind you because I am on the charge. I just got caught on the curb. The terrible curbs in MotoGP 23. Great for braking. Not ideal when you get caught on them when you're trying to hard on the acceleration to avoid losing the toe. Very close again to each other there. This should be another impressive lap time, but look at that corner speed. The exit from the GP23 is absolutely phenomenal. Very impressive stuff coming in from Bagnaia. And have a look at the championship standings on the right hand side of the screen. I do believe at this point we'd be really close to beating Johan Zarco for 4th place in the championship. If all goes well in the race, we might actually beat out Zarco for 4th. The gap is still rather large to Bezzecchi, as you could see, but I'm still hopeful for a top 3 place in the World Championship. And if you've been following this season since the beginning, back in Portimao, back in the test, back in a dreadful Argentinian GP as well, then you'll know how much this is going to feel amazing. This has been one hell of a turnaround for our season. Pecco is running out of chances now, and he's actually going to lose the advantage here as we push him onto the curbs. We wait for the right line there. We go on the brakes, and we have acquired the lead for the first time here in Thailand. What a story this will be. I don't think anyone expected us to get the pole position. Unless you've done career mode before, then you'll probably know that the AI aren't particularly strong in the qualifying, and of course even on the 120% difficulty we were able to make it stick with the very underpowered RC16. So good news for everyone else who's possibly participating in their MotoGP 23 career mode. So on the brakes there, I just noticed that we had about a 3.5 tenths of a second lead coming out of turn 1, which dwindled quickly down to about 2 tenths. This is not over yet, and if Pecco can get through again, which is very likely he will, maybe not. I thought he'd go through it there. I really did. I was tensing up for a moment there to prepare myself for a Pecco Bagnaia overtake, which never came. And now on the brakes going into turn 5. If Pecco doesn't make a move soon, I would say that's going to be curtains for the world champion. 2.5 laps, let's be honest, is all that remains here in the Thailand sprint. I have a great feeling about this. This could be 12 additional points in our championship challenge for that coveted number 3 spot. What a way to finish the season. We will get superstar rank if everything stays the same as well, which enables you to fight for MotoGP factory teams. That is huge. And if you're not familiar with a factory team, that is basically the peak of the teams. Your reps, we're going deep there for turn 12, my apologies. Quickly back onto the circuit and we'll regain what we're talking about. So your factory Ducati, your factory MotoGP teams such as the Ducati, the Yamaha, the Honda, the Suzuki back then, and of course many more, the Aprilias, etc. So it's all of the best bikes. They have the absolute best mechanics and factory support from the main company. So Ducati's Lenovo team rather than the VR46, for example. Gas won't get the same support as the full factory KTM. Terrible explanation, but it's quite difficult to give it to you right now. But maybe when I have more time to actually explain things, I'll definitely do it, because right now we're still very much on it and we're still trying to keep back the number 1. And in fact, Jorge Martin has now risen up to 3rd. I think I seen him pop up earlier, but I was expecting Fabio to maybe fight back. And concerning the graphic in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, your live update on the map, it looks to be that even if we did fumble it, we were still very much finished 2nd place in this race. This has been terrific for us. May not have been as the most entertaining of races, but it's nice to come here to the Chang International Circuit and have a decent performance, let's say. So I'm quite pleased with that. So I'll just keep on pushing and we'll see what we can do in the race, because even though we have a good sprint, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have a good race, because of course, bear in mind, we're going to have to reduce the fuel. We don't have the same ability here to go for the softest tyres and the higher power settings. We'll have to reduce it down to power setting 2. But out of the final corner and across the line, we have, I thought we'd be up there into the 4th place by now, but unfortunately it's not happened yet. But we'll keep an eye on that, especially when the race is concerned in a couple of moments' time. So 12 points will still be for us. I thought I heard the yellow flag go out then. You know, the little beeping noise? Maybe not, clearly didn't. I must confess I will be paying attention to the fuel at the bottom there, because plus 0.4 should be okay. It's just thrown me off a little bit because I thought we'd have a little bit more fuel than that. Look at the Thai fans, ladies and gentlemen. They're pretty pleased with that one. It's good to have a little look at the fans every now and again. Didn't realise actually how decent some of the crowds look in this game. Some look absolutely terrible, but from a fast perspective there, travelling at around 100 plus miles an hour, 150 as we fly past the Thai fans, I guess you can't really see them, and I don't think I'll pay too much attention to them, but every now and again it's good to show them what they're enjoying. Like very much we did the same in the Red Bull Ring of Austria as well, didn't we? So it's nice to have a little look around when you're comfortably dominating a MotoGP race. I've got to say though, I am extremely excited for the possibility of what we can do in the next season. I still feel it's going to be very much the Ducati dominance, but I think we're going to rustle a few feathers and we'll see what we can do, trying to pick whatever team we get and hopefully go for the full MotoGP Championship before MotoGP 24 arrives. So ladies and gentlemen, big wheelie across the line for the fans. We are victorious for yet again another sprint victory. So a quick look at the timing sheet. As you can see, we did take the victory by a comfortable margin of 3.6 seconds. Pecco, Martin, Quartararo. Yeah, easy enough for me. I'm really happy with that one. So without further ado, let's have a quick look at the championship standings to see how those half points change the... Ooh, I was going to say change the landscape, and it kind of has. We're only 5 points behind Zarco. Oh, we're on it. Let's... Game on for the full race. I want to be in 4th place by the end of today's video. So here we go then, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for the red lights to disappear. We're going to use power setting 3 to get us off the line, and then we'll probably drop it down to power setting 2. 13 laps of the Thai GP is now underway. Oh, they were much quicker than we were off the line. Binder almost taking our front wheel off there, but thankfully it didn't happen. Miguel Oliveira now up to 3rd place. Brilliant start for the RNF Aprilia rider. And for us... Oh my goodness, the fuel. Look at the fuel. It's dropping dramatically. It's down to minus 0. Okay, we really can't use the fuel in this one. Power setting 2 for a long time, then that's completely thrown me off there. Power setting 2, though, it should be good in the middle of the race, but here in this starting part, we are going to suffer. And we're already really losing fuel. What is going on with the fuel? I might have to drop down to power setting 1 if that keeps going like that. I'll just keep on going for now, but I really need to pay attention to that because I do not want to run out of fuel. That would be very embarrassing for our videos as we get really caught up on Bastianini. That actually gave him a bit of a helping hand going into the left-hand side. I don't know why he braked so early there. You can carry a lot more momentum in there, Beast. You know you can. Come on, you, the Moto2 World Champion. You know what you're doing. Multiple MotoGP Grand Prix winner. You can do this. Oh, they both gone wide into turn 8, though. Do they both go wide into turn 9? You bet they do. It's going to be... No, I was going to say we can go from 3rd to 1st, but I don't think we can. Oh, Jack Miller's gone down. Bad result for the Aussie. And now onto the power and onto the right-hand side, following the footsteps of the riders ahead of us. Do we go for the lunge? Is it 2 for 1? It's going to be late. Is it good? Oh, it's been a contact. I thought I was tensing up, expecting a bit of argy-bargy, but we did split up the Ducatis, and we're now in prime position to attack. So onto the brakes we go into the first corner. Bastianini loses a little bit of time going wide there. We get on the power, and we hopefully will stay within range with Bastianini, even with the lower power option of power setting 2. Well then, the number 23 versus 47 versus 1. Who will come out on top? Bear in mind how quickly we got to the front and how much we dominated in the Thailand sprint. What can happen in the Thai GP full featured race here today? I'm very confident and I am feeling really good around this circuit. It's one of those ones I don't feel good against other players online because I don't really do this track enough, as Bastianini again decides to be a bit sluggish and a little bit undecided, isn't it? Indecisive in that corner. He feels like he's just losing time and he's just not committing fully to turn 6, and that's going to open the door for us every single time. So we're through now and we're happy. But the point I was trying to make is that I feel great against the AI because they make a lot of mistakes here. But against other players, I would say I'm a little bit inexperienced. I don't think my consistency here is very good. And I don't think I've really found the optimal, perfect line. I'm just riding comfortably where I feel is right. I would say compared to the other races recently, I've been on the absolute limit. Really, really on the limit. And sometimes I don't know how I get through those races without crashing. I really don't. But thankfully here, this is one of those ones where I can just take my foot off the pedal a little bit, reduce the throttle, and relax ever so slightly. But I will warn you, I did see on the page at the beginning when you're choosing the session that you're on, it did show that there could be some rain in this video here today. Now, I understand that the... Oh, we're going deep there in for turn 3. My mistakes. Apologies for that. Panyaya takes over the front. Yes, I did make a mistake there, Pecco. You're absolutely right. You don't need to look at me sarcastically and say, where are you going? No, I knew what I was doing, but I also know how to take you back, and I know how to regain the position going in to turn 4 as we almost lost the front. That would have been an embarrassing moment, wouldn't it? So into the left-hander for turn 5. As I was mentioning earlier, if you have the voiceovers on for the start of the show, it does apparently tell you if there's going to be a wet weather race or not, or a flag-to-flag situation, let's say. I can't confirm if that's true or not, because I always turn it off. No disrespect to Matt Burke, Keith Ewan, Gavin Emmett, Steve Day, everyone who's done it over the past. It's just that I have to turn it off because that's my introduction part, so it'll only clash if we both do it together. I might not be as good as those legendary commentators, but still, I can have my moment for my particular content. So yeah, I have to turn those off. So apparently it does tell you though, which I think really spoils the unknown of a wet weather situation happening. And that's exactly why I'll never turn it on. I realise I'm probably at a disadvantage, but it's something I'm happy to accept. So, 128.9 coming in, 0.4 of a second quicker than the previous lap, and although we did make a mistake here into turn 3, I feel we should go a lot quicker. I've gone deep again. I'm not confident with the way I'm travelling into turn 3. I feel like I'm making a few too many errors there. But onto the power, we're still going to be garnering 0.3 of a second, so yeah, a better line than running off the circuit, no doubt. And the gap is 1 second, 1.2. Now to Pekka, 1.3. Could that increase more? The AI is rather tentative into turn 5. 1.5, 1.6, no, 1.4. It's not going up as quickly as I thought it would, so they are actually pushing a lot more now in this race than they did in the sprint. Bear in mind we're also on a lower power setting, so it should be a little bit tighter compared to the sprint just moments ago. And something I haven't mentioned yet today's video, if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe. I do really appreciate all of the additional support, and subscribing to the channel helps me massively. It helps me grow, and it helps push the algorithm so even more people will see these videos. So yeah, if you are enjoying, I would really appreciate you hit that subscribe button. Alternatively, you can also click the like button as well. That also does very much favour the content creator amongst any content creation. So yeah, algorithms need those clicks to push your content in a roundabout way, let's say. But certainly not forcing you, so it's entirely up to you. So good lap, 128.701, trending in the right direction, very much similar to what we did in Phillip Island. We started to progress and get faster and faster, and then we hit a small slump where we started to go slower. I don't want to reach that point in today's video. I want to keep on pushing and improving, because God forbid there is a flag-to-flag situation here, which we haven't had a proper flag-to-flag situation here in MotoGP yet. Each and every time it's been a case of we just survived to the end. I think we had it twice, if I'm not mistaken. Catalonia, I think we've had it before. But then again, I'm not entirely sure. But I know for both times when the rain came, we were able to finish the race quite quickly before changing to the wet tyres. I don't think we've had it the other way around yet, which I'm hoping we will have at some point. But I don't know how much that'll help me, because, well, the AI in the wet conditions are just completely dominant, so we'll have to see how that goes. But for the time being, this is not going to be an improvement if we don't nail the final couple of corners. So it could very well be the start of a lesser lap, but who knows? It's going to be very close as we go onto the brakes into turn 12. Very tight to the apex. We get onto the power, and across the line, it's going to be another solid lap, but it is ever so slightly slower than the previous exchange of lap time. So 128.735 coming in lap number 5. I'm going to keep on pushing, and hopefully we can very much improve that here. Quick look at the left hand side of your screen. You've got the tower at the top, us leading by 3 seconds, and the of course other 2 podium potential finishes, Pecco Bagnaia and Enea Bastianini. Oliveira having a terrific race. Since Mandalika, he's really come onto his own. He's starting to really improve. I wish my teammate would. I've not seen Paul Espargaro finish in the points since Assen. Maybe today he will change. Maybe today he'll have that inspiration and oomph to try and finish higher up in the standings. But to be fair, we're already doing miracles, and, well, he needs to do miracles as well if we have any aspirations of finishing higher up in the Teams Championship. But I think we're pretty much maxed out at just my points. I don't think he's doing anything for me. But one thing I will say, though, is MotoGP 23's career mode has certainly exceeded expectations for me. Now, there's a few flaws. Of course, there's always flaws. There tends to be a lot with milestone games, unfortunately, but some of the things that have happened have been really, really good. So, for example, of how the teams develop, it's not cookie cutter. A lot of other aces in the Discord server of my own is all discussing different potentials for different teams. Some riders are incredible. And one of the guys, that Joan Mir, is super fast. And then some guys, Alicia Spargo is right there on the top. And then in some, you have some completely shockers, like maybe Pecco Bagnaia. I read in a comment recently, or in an Instagram message someone sent me, Pecco Bagnaia was removed from the Factory Ducati team for the place of the player. I didn't know that was a thing, but yeah. Anything is happening in MotoGP 23 career mode, and for me, I am certainly loving this career mode. Milestone did a great job, and I'm really keen to see what we can do. And of course, it's hard against 120% difficulty AI. If you're only watching this video, you might be thinking, well, it doesn't look hard. It has been hard. It really has for the early start of the season. But the good news is, with our 25 points here today, cast your eyes to the right-hand side of the screen. You'll see that we are just 13 points behind Marco Bezzecchi for third place in the championship. That means we've dethroned Zarco from fourth, and we can definitely finish third place in this championship with a possible victory here today in the Thai GP. I'm super excited to see what we can do. If we can get third after everything we've been through in this season, that's a tremendous pat on the back of our virtual rider. So out of the Petronas right-hander there, and then onto the brakes just before you reach that white line. I did notice on the previous lap that staying in second gear here looked to be a little bit more effective. I did try the first gear, and I think that actually felt a little bit better, but it's not what feels better, it's what gets results. So I think I'll keep trying both, and I'll decide what works out better for us. But an identical lap time there, 1:28.701. Identical of the lap set 3 laps ago. And now as we come to the final part of this race, I've got to be honest with you, I kind of expect us to be doing really well at this stage, but I still expected the AI to be putting up a fight. 4.5 seconds ahead up the road, comfortably leading. I'd like to say I'm really pleased with this one, but I think I'm very fortunate, simply because of the way the AI are not great in the latter stage of each lap. I think in the final couple of sectors they are just utterly woeful. And I think that's going to really cost any possible part of credibility for winning this race. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to be happy with the victory. Certainly happy with the sprint victory as well. But I wish it was more on a merit of performance rather than the AI struggling. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just downplaying the achievement of beating the 120% difficulty AI, but I don't know. I'm feeling a bit mixed. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section down below. Of course, I'm still trying to do very consistent pace lap times to keep on the power and keep on the pressure, but at the same time, it's a little bit easier than anticipated here today. So again, we lost 0.4 of a second there. We're actually bouncing around. One lap we do a 1:28.7, the next lap we do a 1:28.1, 1:29.1 should I say, 1:28.7, then 1:29.1 again. So a bit of back and forth here in the Thailand GP as it stands. And I don't think we're going to get any rain. It looks pretty comfortable to me right now. I haven't seen any deterioration within the weather. It's not noticeably dark or anything like that. So, as far as, a little bit deep there. I shouldn't be looking at the ceiling. I'm looking at the sky at the top of my monitor here, trying to get a better look to see if I can see any further. I'm dipping under it to see if we can see. And clearly, I couldn't see anything else. But if it is this way, then I'm going to keep on pushing to get the fastest lap of the race again, possibly a 1:28.5. I think we've got the potential for that. And, you know, I didn't really notice too much in the qualifying, but I noticed we had a very good lap time pretty much from the off, so I'm not too concerned with that. That's rain, isn't it? It happened so quickly. I wish I hadn't spoken. I can't believe this. We're actually not losing time though. Okay. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, let's wake up then. Thanks for sticking around if you did, because now things are going to get very interesting. We are completing lap number 9. 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, 4 laps to go. Right, I need to make a decision here. How quickly does this track get wet? I'm sorry, I'm really thinking about this now. What decision do we go for here? Do we just jump into the pits and then follow suit? Or is that going to be... I need to see what... Oh, the flag... Wow, the white flag came out pronto. Usually you can get a lap or 2 of the wet coming out before they decide to wave the metaphorical flags. This is big questions. I'm only losing 0.3 of a second on this lap, so this is guaranteed we do not pit in this lap. Something else to mention as well. Ooh, that's deep though into turn 5. Something else to note is I have never done the pit lane here in a Thai international... I'm not too sure, you know. I'm really not too sure. Apologies, guys. I need to think of this. My mind's all over the place. Do we just go in? I don't want to risk it. I'm not very good in the wet conditions, and it needs to be fully wet for me to even... Alright, the pit lane's here. The pit lane is here. I thought it was. It is a massive pit lane. So even just entering the pits, we're going to lose a tremendous amount of time. And there's no pit intervention time like there is in World Superbike in this game. So we only lost 2 seconds there. I really need to think about this one. I'm actually nervous. It's a very short... Oh, we're struggling to turn in though. That could just be my confidence just on the brakes. 3 laps to go, including this one. The track doesn't look wet enough for me, and we're still only putting lap times in 2 seconds slower. Pecco and Bastianini have gone in. They're playing it safe, aren't they? I should play it safe as well, shouldn't I? Do I play it safe, or do we just go for it? Since there's not much on the line for my championship, I'm quite confident we can still get the 3rd place in the championship regardless. I would like to know what it's like to stay out on the slicks for as long as possible. In the past when I've done it, it's difficult to turn in. It is difficult to turn in, but it's not impossible. We just brake a little bit earlier for the next couple of laps. How much time has Pecco... They are the only 2 riders to pit. And Pecco's down to 8th. Bear in mind the gap we have had. Look at the map in the bottom left of your screen, guys. We had a huge gap. Ourselves, Pecco and Bastianini included there. So if they've dropped, we might still come out of the pits here in the top 5. I'm not going in yet. I don't think we've lost enough time to really warrant it. And the tyres look good for now. But every lap we falter, we're losing more and more time. Into the right-hand side here. It is getting difficult to turn in. Oh, I've had to put the... Oh, I don't know. Do I put the traction control up or do I... Yeah, let's leave it at 3. I need to think about this now. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a moment. Apologies, the commentary's going to go to heck to a handbasket here because I'm not sure if I can commentate and concentrate and race at the same time. The tyres are going cold, but we're on the penultimate lap. We just need one more lap to completely successfully deliver our Brad Binder moment. Oh, it's really, really difficult to turn in now. I think I've made a huge mistake. Rinza Marinia now in. Marquez is going into the pits. Jack Miller, will he follow suit with Joan Mir? He is following suit. Paul Espargaro's up into the top 7. Come on, Paul. Get me some... Oh, he's gone to the pits. I was hoping he'd chance it. Oh, Bagnaia is up to 2nd, but the gap is 43 seconds. I think we can do this. Oh, it's really difficult to turn in. I think we can do this, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have our Brad Binder moment here today. Oh, God. 41 seconds to Pecco. I can't turn in, though, at all. This is it. We have to pit now or never. I can't turn. I can't turn. I think this, in real life, you would get tremendous amount of track limit warnings, but of course the way the game works, if you don't gain an advantage, it doesn't penalise you. Oh, no, I lost the front. No, are you joking me? Oh my God, I had the smallest twitch then. I can't even accelerate off the of a standing start. We have to pit. We can't now, though. We're 36 seconds. Oh, steady on the power. We're losing 26 seconds. Slap. Oh, Jesus. I've made a huge mistake. Come on, brake it. Turn in. I can't turn. I actually can't turn. I've lost it. I've absolutely lost the plot here. The difference in that lap to this one is dramatic. We would have 4th place in the championship. I think we're going to get that anyway because I have no idea where Johan Zarco is, but I cannot physically turn in with the RC16 in these weather conditions with the slick tyres. We are losing 4 seconds already in the first split. We've got 4 sectors. Yeah, we're not going to win this race, are we? I have made a huge gamble here and it has not paid off. I can't turn. Look at that. I can't turn. We're locking the front. I can't believe it. My Brad Binder moment. It's not going to happen. I can't accelerate. Well, someone had to figure it out and I've figured it out. That is the ultimate point. So, for future reference, Matt, DrAce, when you edit this video, bear in mind to remember 2 laps, 3 laps is too much for a wet weather situation. If it rains in the last 2 laps, forget it. Just go with the pits. I can't turn in. This is incredible. We're off the podium. We're off the podium. Oh, man. I wanted my Brad Binder moment. That's all I really wanted. Oh, no. I have 0 regrets. This has been an experience like no other. They nailed it. I cannot turn in at all. Look at that lean angle. That's the max. That is the maximum lean angle. And I am travelling so slow. I have to be really careful because Alicia Spargo is charging with speed. Quick look behind us to see. Yeah, there he is. I can't think. We're not going to get 6th, are we? Come on. Turn. Turn, please. Binder's coming. Come on, Binder's. Oh, he's got me. Well, we didn't get our Brad Binder moment, but to finish on the slicks in 6 is bloody impressive. Well, Pecco may have been gifted the 25 points and we finished in 6th place, but the thing I'm interested in to see if Paul Espargaro got me some point. Oh, Taka! Taka! He got a point! Taka Nakagami got 4 points. No, 5 points. 4 points? 4 points, I think. No, 5 points. Yes, oh, Paul! Paul didn't get me a single point. Oh, I'm gutted. Oh, I'm just in a giddy mood now after this absolute monstrosity of a finish for after my terrible tyre gamble. Franco Morbidelli would be proud of that gamble, no doubt. Oh, God. Let's just have a look at the championship standings and see how things look. And we're up by 5 points on Zarco. Still very much a chance to finish on the top 3 steps of this championship. 28 points behind Marco Bezzecchi is more than doable with some of the races we have coming up next. And there is Taka Nakagami for the first time this season. All praise the Japanese rider. He does take 5 points. And somehow Paul Espargaro is still on 18 after Assen. Good Lord. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. It's been an absolutely crazy race and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below and do not hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe. And you know what? Chuck in a third thing in there as well. Share it with your friends and family. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Ciao for now. Oh, hi! Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.